Good afternoon and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at pitching for today, the 21st of July. It is Monday. We do have a 10-game main slate. Every team is playing today at some point. Monday after the All-Star break, so teams had plenty of off days, so you're going to see everybody play the next couple of days. No real weather to worry about. Some wind blowing in Chicago. Nothing too crazy, but obviously Wrigley, important to know what the wind is doing. Like mentioned, 10-game slate. This is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play in FanDuel, I'll cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now, with all that said and done, let's just jump into the options that we have this evening. We'll go game by game like normal. The Yankees and Blue Jays. Rodon, obviously a ton of upside. Wasn't great against Toronto the last time he faced them. I'm not sure if he's faced them any other times this season. Just the once. The big issue here, Toronto doesn't strike out a whole lot. Toronto's offense has been really strong over the last 3 weeks or so. I might end up having to pass on Rodon. It's kind of tough. I mean, his road numbers aren't bad. Not really allowing home runs, one every almost 10 innings. Strikeout numbers are stronger when on the road, but he does allow more hits, more base runners in general. I don't think I want to get to Rodon in this matchup, but if I do need another pitcher to kind of maintain what I'm doing, Rodon could be in there. Ownership, we have him projected at just under 8%. Nothing special there at all. It does feel like a pass for me. He is a slight favorite, but I just don't really want to use him against Toronto right now. Kevin Gausman on the other side. One really bad start against the Yankees. One not so great start. A lot of walks, not many strikeouts. His performances are all over the place this season. I thought, generally had been better at home. His strikeout numbers are much stronger at home, but his home runs allowed are stronger. It's a super volatile spot for him. A couple of the Yankees bats have absolutely destroyed him in their careers. Judge, Stanton, I think there was one other one that I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but Judge and Stanton for sure. Judge has absolutely destroyed him. So I don't think I'm going to get to Gausman either. Such a super volatile guy, and he just hasn't looked good in 2 starts against the Yankees at this point. Angels and Mets, Kodai Senga, definitely somebody I want to utilize. His first start back from the IL was okay against Kansas City. Just 67 pitches in 4 innings. That's a bit of a worry. I would guess he's probably allowed into the 80s, but we don't know for sure, and pitch count is super important. With that said, the Angels can strike out an absolute crap ton, as we will go to our normal strikeout numbers. Take a look. Second most in baseball at this point. Nearly 10 per game on the road as well. Kodai Senga, definitely one of the better options on the slate if everything was normal. Under 10% is very intriguing. Obviously, the pitch count concerns probably driving his ownership number down, but somebody that I'm definitely going to keep in my pool. On the other side, Tyler Anderson, somebody that I will have in my pool. Hasn't looked good the last couple, but we've talked about it a lot recently. The Mets against left-handed pitching have struggled far too much. It seems like every time we want to stack against Anderson, he comes in, throws a gem. Every time we want to use Anderson or don't really want to stack against him, he might give up 4 or 5 runs. But in general, I just think he's going to be decent enough that he's worth a sprinkle just because the Mets have struggled so much. And at just 3% ownership, we can triple that to 9% and definitely be far from overexposed in a GPP setting. San Francisco and Atlanta, not interested in Birdsong. His last start was pretty decent. A lot of walks recently. 4+ walks in 3 straight starts. It's not a good thing, especially when he's also allowing some home runs. 6 of them over his last 5 starts. I'm going to pass on Birdsong against Atlanta. The other side, Elder, coming off a decent start against the A's. Picked up some strikeouts, etc. He absolutely dominated this San Francisco squad a month and a half ago. He might be worth a dart throw. His home numbers are atrocious. It's a big worry. Huge walk disparity between his home and road numbers. I would expect that to kind of even out at some point. I'm not too worried about San Francisco's offense. So I think Elder might just be a sprinkle in at this point. And another guy at, just about 3.5%. 10%, triple the field. And again, not be overexposed. White Sox, Tampa Bay. Burke is one of those guys that can have sneaky, decent outings. I just don't really want to use him against Tampa Bay in this ballpark. His road numbers have been pretty bad, getting hit up quite hard. But on the other side, Shane Baz, one of the most popular pitchers on the slate, 25% ownership right now. I would not be shocked if that ends up around 30% whenever we get another update as the day progresses. He is at home, where he has struggled a bit. Home runs can happen. Walk numbers, I don't love them. Strikeouts at home are strong, at least stronger than on the road, which we love strikeout upside. White Sox, surprisingly, not a huge K squad overall. Probably somewhere in the middle or top. My blind, kind of in the middle in baseball at this point. On the road, though, they do jump up in strikeouts, which is where we're at here. So I'm sure Shane Baz is probably going to be my number one option. Not that I feel like I need to jam him in, but I just think he's probably the best option at the top at this point. KC and the Cubs, wind slightly blowing in Wrigley. Left-handed pitching against the Cubs could be where to go. Noah Cameron had a little rough stretch and then bounced back with his last 2 starts before the All-Star break. I'm intrigued a little bit. I'm just not sure I'm going to end up with Cameron in my pool. His road numbers are absolutely ridiculous. Not a huge K guy, though, which obviously is a worry, allowing the Cubs to put a lot of balls in play, get guys on base, stolen bases, etc. I'm just not sure. I'm going to have to consider Cameron as the day goes on and get an idea if I want to include him for a sprinkle. Keep opening the wrong tab. 4% ownership. 8 to 10%, we can double the field. Not get overexposed like I keep mentioning, but just not sure I'm going to get there. He is in consideration, though. Other side, opener situation. Longman could be Ben Brown, could be Chris Flexen. This is a spot where I think if it is Ben Brown, the rumor is that they're calling him up. I think it's as an audition. I think that he might be somebody they look to deal in a move to acquire, a third baseman and another pitcher, starting pitcher. So some trade bait for them. Utilize him against Kansas City, who's not a super dangerous offense. They don't strike out a whole lot, but it is an offense that he might be able to have a little bit of success against and kind of strengthen his trade stock. I do know teams love his arm. He just hasn't shown it at the major league level consistently, but it's one of those gut feelings where I think Ben Brown could be a guy that's kind of auditioning to be moved at the deadline. The A's and Rangers. Lopez is somebody I'm going to play. Super volatile. We've seen some super volatile performances just get absolutely lit up, but then we've seen some huge performances. 8-9 strikeouts, 32 fantasy points against a Kansas City squad that just doesn't strike out. Rough against Texas so far this year, a lot of walks. Strong strikeout numbers against them, though. ton of volatility, but this is the kind of guy that I like in GPPs, especially large field ones. The general field's kind of afraid to use somebody like him because he's got such a wide range of outcomes. But for me, I'm just playing him to try to nail that, top 10, 15% performance by him. I'm not playing him hoping that he hits his career high by any means, but he has the ability to go 25 to 30 fantasy points. And to me, that's very intriguing. Again, open the wrong tab. Just under 16%, a little higher than I would have assumed, but still somebody that I can get to 25 to 30% on and feel pretty good. 30% is probably my cap with somebody like Lopez because of his volatility. Jack Leiter on the other side. Man, the talent's there for Leiter. His performances are just kind of blah, kind of all over the place. Can dominate, but I just don't know if I'm going to get there. I'm going to dig into his numbers a little bit more. The A's can strike out plenty. Pretty sure they've had quite a bit of strikeouts recently, but maybe I'm just misremembering. I apparently am blind as well. Well, Sacramento. Yeah, they struck out 14 times yesterday, so that kind of inflates it. But still, they're a bottom 10 team in strikeouts on the season. There's some upside for later, but that's one I want to dig into more. I'm going to kind of leave him on the outside looking in for now. And maybe my debate comes down to Jack Leiter or Noah Cameron. That's something I could see myself debating, over the next couple of hours. St. Louis, Colorado. No thanks on Gomber, just because St. Louis doesn't strike out a whole lot. They do strike out more against left-handed pitching, but not really interested in Gomber. McGreevy, even though it is in Coors, I am kind of interested. Talented arm. Might get a bit of a look here. I like it. I mean, Colorado strikes out plenty. We know that. Averaging over 10 per game over the last 3. Leading baseball in the most strikeouts. I think McGreevy is worth sprinkling in. And when we look at ownership at just over 3% right now, easy to triple the field and not be hurt if he struggles. Houston, Arizona. Zach Gallen getting a lot of talk. I mean, he is on the trade block, apparently. 31 plus in 2 out of his last 3 starts. So some recent trends are in his favor. His last start before the All-Star break was atrocious. But I think he might be in a good spot. Popular, 25%. Houston, obviously a difficult team, but they're dealing with enough injuries. They lost Paredes to the IL. Pena's still on the IL. Jordan's still struggling with his hand. I think Zach Gallen is worth the play. The other side, Colton Gordon, as high as 20 fantasy points this year. I don't mind left-handed pitching against Arizona, but I'm just not going to get there with Colton Gordon at this point. His numbers on the road are pretty bad, allowing a ton of base runners, a ton of base hits, etc. Milwaukee, Seattle, pretty good game for pitching. Both teams, especially Milwaukee's been hot. Seattle's dangerous. Woodruff has looked phenomenal since coming off the IL with his shoulder. 2 strong starts. A little more of a volatile spot, but I do like him. There's a lot of K upside in the matchup, so I will be playing Woodruff for sure. And on the other side, I'm going to play Kirby. A ton of upside. We've seen him massive upside. We've seen him struggle quite a bit as well. Milwaukee is a hotter team, so there's volatility there. I like Woodruff more than Kirby, but I will be playing both. Last game on the slate, the Twins, Dodgers. Ohtani starting, opening, etc. They're saying that May is going to follow him. Just don't think I can use May. I want to consider him, but I just don't know if we're going to get enough out of him, because if Ohtani's going 3 or 4 innings now, that might leave May with just 2 to 3 innings. I'm just not sure I can get there. David Festa, live arm, but I'm just not going to use him against the Dodgers, even though they're struggling right now. But there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And we still have our merch store. My sweatshirt is in there right now. Links will be in the description as well. But like always, best of luck, everybody.